G'day Nafano, welcome to Gardening on the Kaipara. My name's Howard and welcome to the new polytunnel. So yes, the new polytunnel is up. Very exciting to have this going. It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was to put up. I didn't film any because I was putting up with my friend and it seemed a bit unfair to put him onto YouTube. It went up in about 4 hours all up, which was really good. I was quite anxious about it beforehand, thinking it was going to be a bit of a job to do. Certainly I'd seen some reviews of people putting up polytunnels and saying that they were really difficult, the instructions were really poor, that kind of stuff. In reality though, I thought it went up really simply. We had the video instruction on the phone, which we just referenced all the time. And I think the only thing that we found tricky was getting the top of the door frames on, and it turned out that they'd been specifically drilled for the specific door, so we were trying to put them on the wrong side. But once we swapped them over, they all screwed in absolutely easily, and it all came together brilliantly. So yeah, would highly recommend going for it if you're thinking about it. This particular one has a high wind kit because it's really windy here, and also I went for the one that came with the pre-measured wooden base. Just because I wanted to make sure that that was right, and that's been hammered into the ground, and yeah, again, hopefully that's going to protect it during the storms that we get here. So here we are in July. Jobs for this month is to try and get the polytunnel working smoothly. My plan is to have a raised bed on this side, gravel on that side, and the collapsible tables on that side, so I can use that for seedlings, potting on, and growing things like peppers in pots. And on this side, raised beds to put in tomatoes and cucumbers to see if I can be growing them maybe even through the winter, who knows, but certainly later into the season. I think during the midsummer it's going to be way too hot in here to do very much, but if anybody knows of anything I can be growing in the polytunnel during the heat of the summer, please let me know in the comments below. I'll be really interested to know. Other jobs out on the veggie garden is to tidy up. I've actually not been out there much and I need to tidy up some. I want to get some lettuce and some radish in, and got some strawberries there to put into the gaps. So enough of that. Time to get busy in the garden. See you out there. Okay, so as you can see, Ninja Cat has been doing the digging, and I think we might have one strawberry left in here somewhere. Maybe not. But the good news is that the broad beans have now come out, so I think that they're safe from being dug up, which means I can then put more chicken wire over this to protect these. So yeah, let's fill up some of these gaps. That's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So these were on special at a local Bunnings. These were basically $2 each. Which had a big yes from me. not even have been that. They might have been $10 something, but anyway, they were much cheaper than everywhere else I've seen. And I have to say, I went back this week and couldn't see any. They were all back to $4. Never really had a massive bumper strawberry crop ever, and I guess that's really what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for so many strawberries that I can be making jams and things. Don't know if I've got enough plants to do that. We've got about 36 plants all up. Okay, so now to get the chicken wire back on in a way that hopefully keeps Ninja Cat off these this time, because I think at least 2/3 of these died because they got dug up, not because they weren't rooting. So let's see if we can make this a bit more protective this time. Over that end. That's good, like that. So one of the advantages of having the veggie garden right next to the house is that I get to pick the veg as I'm about to cook, which means it's as fresh as possible and way better than the supermarket. Unfortunately, one of the problems with that is that it's always almost dark at the moment and you never get to see what I'm picking. So I thought today I'd cut it a bit earlier. As you can see, the sun is just setting over there, and this time you get to see what I'm harvesting. Come on. Okay, so first up we've got broccoli. I know a lot of people love harvesting potatoes, and seeing the potato reveals is always exciting, but for me, I actually love picking broccoli. Just because it's so satisfying. The plants are so big and you think, oh, I've grown these from seed. I love it. So there we go. How about that? Not taking the whole plant out because we can use the leaves for the chickens, but I'm also going to see if we can get some side sprouts coming out of that. All right, onto the leeks. Okay, so these leeks are what we call the just in cases, basically those that were left over from those that I was deliberately planting in the onion bed that I just whacked in here because it seemed a crime to just throw them on the compost heap. They're still very young, but even if I take 3 a week just for a single dinner, then still a couple of months of leeks here while the others still carry on. So yeah, that's what I figured I'd do. And then this bed is ready a little later in the year for the tomatoes. So this is going to be one of the tomato beds. There you see. Put them together. Essentially, that's one leek, isn't it? Okay, good. You can see the peas still coming along, but not quite ready yet. Okay, so you saw me the other evening pick some broccoli and some leek. I'm noticing now that some of these broccoli heads are getting really big, and I'm worried that they're going to be over before we've used them. So I'm going to have to pick them. And what we don't use tonight, it might have to freeze. I don't know if you can see that. Looking spectacular there. Look at that. So good. Really like picking broccoli. Very good for the soul. That there. That one's looking quite small. That's small. But this one here is big. I'm going to take this one. There we go. Another one. I think there was one round the other side as well. It was looking pretty large. I have to take this one, I think. There's a couple others there that I'm going to have to take in the next few days. This is where I'm not good at the succession planting. I think in reality I should be doing kind of a couple of broccoli and a cabbage every week or two, but now I've got the polytunnel, no excuses, he says optimistically to himself. But yeah, look at those. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm liking that. Okay, so now on to the plot tour at the end of the month. And here's the first surprise. The shed is in. We weren't expecting it to come quite as early as it did, but it has, and it's all set up and it looks absolutely amazing. So really good to be able to get things put away in there out of the way rather than all just piled up on the side as they have been for the last few months. So here we go at the top, and the strawberry beds, as you can see, the strawberries that have gone in have taken off really well, and the Ninja Kitten protection has worked well. Trying to begin putting straw around them and getting the nets on. And the asparagus that's come up in the middle of winter for some reason and has clearly been blown over, as it would. Don't really know what to do about that. I'm presuming the rest of it's going to come up in the spring. Moving on to the pea and carrot bed. This was the second lot of peas that went in, but were actually ready before. And the carrots at the back there will be ready for picking soon, which is really exciting. We've had a couple of pickings off the peas already, and they've been really good. This was the first lot of peas that I put in. As you can see, much taller, but the actual pods haven't filled out yet. They're taking much longer to do. The just in cases leeks, doing really well. As you can see, we've taken a few of those now. But given the fact that I wasn't expecting to use any of them, it's been a bit of a bonus. The carrot and parsnip bed. This is the parsnip on the left-hand side, growing really tall. Probably be able to pick some of those soon. And the carrots on the other side, with a few lettuce still. The netting makes so much difference to these. This is the garlic bed and the sweet peas. Sweet peas really took off when they went in, but they kind of slowed down a bit and thickened out. I'm kind of thinking they'll probably flower in the spring. This is the parsley and the coriander. Coriander really taking off there now. And Ninja Kitten, obviously, inspecting. Beetroot behind. Getting a bit low on the beetroot now. It seems to take quite a long time to come through here. And here we have broad beans. Never grown them before, but Jesse on plot 37 swears by them, so who are we to argue? So we're growing them. And this is the bed that we prepped last month and got beetroot in. As you can see, they've taken off. Parsnip, even though they got dug up by the Ninja Kitten, seems to be coming through. And a third succession of peas. I think this is probably going to be the last lot I'll get in before the summer. Okay, so out of the window a little bit now and into the polytunnel. And I've got a few things going. One of the problems we've had was with the weather. It's been very wet and this was quite flooded. And as you can see, we've got solid limestone, which means that it became very, very sticky. The plan is to obviously put some kind of flooring down and beds, but until it was dried out enough to be able to start doing that, I had to be patient. In the meantime, we do have things going. So here we've got some cabbage and broccoli and spring onions. That's some celeriac that was given to me by a lovely neighbour. And over here we've got some more parsley, a couple of shallots, a Ninja Cat, and some basil that started there. And also started off in here, some tomatoes and courgettes and things. Nothing showing at the moment. However, the back of there, you can see those are aubergines, which I'm very proud of. I tried to grow them last year and it was pretty much a disaster, so I can't believe they've started growing already. I brought some of the potatoes in as we've got family coming up at the weekend, and the plan is to see if I can get as many veg as possible for the family dinner. And I thought I'd see if we've got any potatoes living in that. That would be exciting. And over here, these are tomatoes which were volunteers out in the garden, and I just thought I'd pop them in here to see what happens. I popped them into two big 30-litre pots, and they wilted like anything the first couple of days, but man, they've picked up and they've grown about a foot already in a week or so. I think one of them is a cherry tomato and the other is a heritage one, I think, but we won't know. We just won't know till we see what comes out. But look, they're already flowering. They're already flowering, which is very cool. And then over here, I think this is probably my biggest example of the success of the polytunnel already, which is that these lettuce I just potted on. They were tiny. I just potted them on a week or so ago. Not really thought much about them because it's been so wet that I've only been able to get up here a little bit. And look at them. They're enormous and ready to go out. So that's amazing. Totally impressed with that. So there we go. Really happy with that shed. Looking good. And the plot's coming together. So much is growing. Considering that we're in the depths of winter, had amazing pickings out of it already. Just totally a surprise. But also kind of looking at it and thinking, oh, there's a lot of work to get done now. So there we go, Fano. That's the end of the July plot tour. Hope you've liked it. In the meantime, keep safe, hare ra, and I'll see you again at the end of August. Bye bye.